of Global Sales and Marketing, Jason McKenzie.
Well, thank you. Again, my name is Jason McKenzie. It's great to be here. Just want to thank you guys for investing your afternoon with us. So we're obviously very excited and thrilled to be here, and we appreciate the interest from all of you. You know, today we're about to introduce an exciting new phone. You will hear from a few speakers here that share the enthusiasm around this great new product. And then finally, you'll have the opportunity to go hands-on with this experience. At HTC, you know, it's very clear, given this ride we've been on in terms of the smartphone. As a pioneer in this industry, we've seen the product go from being a niche product to a product that's really the most important product for somebody. It's very personal. And so at HTC, we really believe in delivering you with your perfect mobile experience. And as we think about that, there's really no better example than what we've done in 2011 with Verizon Wireless, our partner. Whether it was the edgy styling of the Droid Incredible, or the blazing fast internet speeds of the HTC Thunderbolt, the world's first LTE smartphone. Just a few weeks ago, when many of you shared the room with us when we unveiled the beauty of the HTC Rezound, HTC and Verizon Wireless have really come together this year to deliver more choice to consumers than ever before. And so as we think about today, really our two companies really feel like we're slamming an exclamation mark on this great year as we unveil a multimedia phone, a phone that has music at its heart and soul. It's a phone that delivers the best in listening, in watching, in capturing, and in sharing. But before I go in and give you more details, let me first introduce you to HTC's CEO, Mr. Peter Chow.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us today. The smartphone revolution is sweeping the world, and more people than ever are discovering the magic of the mobile lifestyle. And people wanted to access and share everything that's important, anytime, anywhere, right at their fingertips. And the 4G LTE is making this experience even better. So HTC is honored to have played a role in kicking off this smartphone revolution. But when we started in this industry, we were a niche player. We focus on innovation and customers and developing HTC's quietly brilliant philosophy. Quietly brilliant is about humble, but it doesn't mean we can't take pride on the accomplishment. So just a few weeks ago, HTC was named as a top 100 global brand from Interbrand. This was the first time a Taiwanese company or Chinese company, a Chinese brand, has made this list. So this is a great honor for us, given we just developed HTC brand in less than 5 years. It normally takes 20 years to get this point. And just this Monday came the news that HTC was the #1 smartphone seller in the United States in Q3. So I would like to give a big thanks to every single HTC customer and all of you here today who reported HTC's amazing journey. So at HTC, our goal is to create a mobile lifestyle that is perfect for you. For many people, the mobile phone is the most personal device in their life. And we know that a lot of people, they want to get a phone does not have to compromise. Of course, that definitely includes most of you here today. You want to have a smartphone that is super powerful, yet stylish and easy to use. And you want to have a convenience of a one-button camera to have great photos and videos. But you also want to have the professional quality and effects, along with easy way of sharing your creation instantly. And you want to have a phone that can play your favorite movies and music anywhere. But you want to have experience that look and sound like you're sitting at your home in front of your movie theater. So today, you are going to see a phone that gives you just that and more. It's a phone that brings you closer to everything you love. And it's a phone that gives you the best combined sights and sound experience of any smartphone on market. So of course, a great phone needs a great network. So Verizon has always been a great partner for us, and we are taking this relationship a giant leap forward this year. So Verizon trusted HTC delivering their first wall 4G LTE smartphone, the HTC Thunderbolt. So it's one of the reasons that HTC today has the biggest market share of 4G market. Verizon loves the bold experience from HTC, like HTC Incredible 2. And they also like the beautiful ones like HTC Rezound. And today, we are very proud to take another step in this great relationship. Please welcome HTC Rezound. This is HTC Rezound. So earlier this year, HTC and Beats decided to form this groundbreaking relationship to revolutionize mobile audio. HTC is extremely focusing on the mobile experience. And we believe amazing audio is part of a great mobile experience. And we share the same vision that we want to do something, and we want to revolutionize mobile audio, and we want to fix some of the digital music degradation. And we're very honored to have this chance to work with Beast Team. And they are very special kind of people. And they are music veterans. They've been in this music industry for 30 years, and they know what is music quality, how to produce great music quality. And they have the technology, and they know how to go to market. And today, HTC Rezound is another example that we can take these and HTC audio together to take mobile audio to the next level. Jason will introduce HTC Rezound more, but before that, I would like to introduce my friend Jimmy Ivan. Hi, Jimmy.
Thank you. Hope it doesn't make. Well, in order for me to explain the why, which everything's important to have a why we're here and why we struck up this relationship with HTC, I have to tell a small story that happened 10 years ago. And that is, at the beginning of Napster and the downloading of free music, what we call piracy in the record industry, I said, well, we got to figure out what to do with this. I kind of saw early on that we were going to be in a lot of trouble. So I went to Intel, and I remember one of their founders, Les Valdez, and I went to him as an artist. I used to be a record producer, so I went to him as a record producer to explain to him the plight of the artist, how we were losing the money to invest in new artists. It wasn't just hurting the big guys, it was hurting the small artists and the struggling artists. After 20 minutes of my speech, he looked at me and he said, Jimmy, that's a wonderful thing. He says, but not every industry was made to last forever. So I said, oh, wow. So I didn't laugh. I didn't laugh because he wasn't kidding. So I got in my car, and I started going home. I called Doug Morris, who at the time was my boss, has been my partner for 30 years. I said, Doug, we have a much bigger problem than any of us think. I said, piracy. I said, they care about transmission. And I said, we're the best app for what they do. Music is the best app in the world to travel across this new technology. And I said, we have to figure a way to get involved in this and for them to need us rather than us need them. So we kind of just stood there for a while and took all the punches, and and then one day I was lucky enough to be very early on to see iTunes, how it was built, and Steve showed me iTunes, and we gave them our license, and Sony joined in after that. And it was the beginning. Because what I said to Doug that day was, we have to figure out a way that tech companies need us. That is the only way we are going to get anywhere with this, or we're going to get destroyed. So it took us a long time. One day I was walking down the beach, and I ran into Dr. Dre, who's here right now. And he said to me, Jimmy, my lawyer, Adidas called. They want me to sell sneakers. I said, Dre, screw sneakers, man. Let's do speakers. So that was the real research that was done in creating the Beats company. It's always good to walk down the beach. And so we went away, and we went to work on this, and it took us we met our different partners and how to create a special headphone. Because what we did that day was we committed to reverse the destruction and the degradation of sound caused by the digital revolution. By the time we finish a record in the studio, what it resembles when it gets through that MP3 player, through the computer, rather, to the MP3 player, through the earbuds, it doesn't resemble the emotion or the feel of what was created in the studio. Some of us that are older than 40 years old remembers when we used to collect great speakers. You know, if you wanted to meet a girl and bring her back, you show her your speakers, you know, because they were cheaper than a car. I got these new speakers, you know, really exciting. Now, how do you take a $400 MP3 player and play it through a $1 headphone? The math doesn't work. You can't fit those great tomatoes in that little bitty can, right? That's another old reference to a very old commercial. And so we got very committed to flipping audio. You know, in computers right now, most of the PCs in the world are made with 40 to 50 cents in sound. The audio is the back end of the computer. They're made for voice. They're not made for music. So we, with Beats Audio, are on a campaign, not just to use our software and hardware, is to use it for anyone to just get it better. Dell, make your computers sound better. It's important to us, it's important to the industry, because the next step was the record industry has got to go mobile. Right now, if you see a kid walking down the street, even if he has a smartphone,
Gotta get.
Beats is more than a headphone, it's an idea. And part of the idea is to fix the degradation of sound caused by the digital revolution. We needed a technology partner that had speed to market, great technology, and a visionary as its head. And in Peter, we found somebody who's like-minded to us, who has the same spirit, and wants things to happen, and happen quick and potent.
HTC and Beats, we share the same culture of innovation, design, and really care of the consumer experience. So this is the best for us to really create this emotional connection with consumer.
We intend to fulfill Beats' dream, and that is to transmit music and popular culture to the masses from the people in the studio, the way it feels and the way it sounds, and HTC is the perfect partner.
anyway, I want to thank you guys for letting me come here and be patient with me as I stutter. But one thing I'd like to say is, a lot of our competitors right now are jumping on a bandwagon, right? So we see them, and we all of a sudden I see going around an ad, feel like the artists hear it. Well, that particular company, we were going to hire their chief engineer, and I met with him, and I said, come into my studio, I want you to show we tune our headphones. I said, well, let me ask you something. Have you ever been to a recording studio? He said, no. Well, how could you say that and not have lived in a recording studio? I lived as a kid for 20 years making records, from whatever, a lot of great people. Dre is a sound pioneer that happens to be a rapper. So now every company is going around hiring, it's really right. Every rapper in the world now has a headphone deal. It's incredible. So my friends call me up and say, what do I do? And this company's offering me $500,000 to put my name on a headphone. I said, take the money. Are you kidding? Take the money. So I have a lot of rich friends right now, and they owe me dinner. But I just want you to know what our commitment is. We're straight ahead about it. Dre's lived his life in sound. I've lived my life in sound. And we're going to work on not just the sound, but the entire delivery, a satisfactory, quality delivery of music and entertainment through HTC and with Verizon. So, thank you.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Peter. So as you can see, the Rezound caps off a great year with Verizon Wireless. So let's take a look at the Rezound. The first thing is design, right? As these products become your most important and the piece of equipment you care about the most, maybe right after your left arm, it's what you won't leave home without. Design is so important. And at HTC, we've invested significantly in design. and have become a leader in actually delivering highly iconic design product, and the HTC Rezound follows in that same legacy. You'll find that it takes some design cues from the Droid Incredible line. It has red accents that give people a hint at the power of Beats that lies within. And when you look inside the product, and you take the back cover off to put in your micro SD card with all your music, videos, etc., you can see that that design flows all the way through the product into the heart of the product, much like the same way if you bought a BMW and you popped open the hood for the first time. Everything's clean and in its spot and cared for, even though it's not visible to the public. That's how we've treated the HTC Rezound. You'll notice that there's this red plastic, but the red plastic is translucent, so you can actually gives people a peek inside at the technology that's driving it. And as many of you know HTC and are familiar, you'd be surprised if it was only a great design and there was no power within, no technology, no advancement. Well, the Rezound will not disappoint there. So that peek into the engineering definitely pays off. It's packed with the top tech you can pack into a phone at this point. So some examples on the screen. But let me talk to you. When you first pick up the phone, you pick up the Rezound, one of the first things you're going to notice is that it's running the latest version of Sense, and it's extremely responsive, very fast. Whether you're launching an app, swiping through a sea of your widgets, you'll notice that immediately. But it doesn't stop. The speed does not stop on the device experience. We're fortunate, as Peter said, to have a great partner in Verizon Wireless, so it takes advantage of, it harnesses the power of the Verizon Wireless 4G LTE network. So as I'm browsing the web, watching videos, streaming my music from my favorite service provider, it all works very quick. A question that I know you guys probably all have is, well, what about ice cream sandwich? So I'll answer that. I'm proud to let you know, excited to let you know, that the HTC Rezound will ship ice cream sandwich ready. So our two products, our two companies, Verizon and HTC, are committed to actually provide that update to our customers as quickly as possible. And so we've got an aggressive plan as soon as that software is ready to make sure that we're testing it and bringing it to our HTC Rezound customers as quickly as possible, likely early next year. You know, we've kind of gone from a market really focused on hardware to a market focused on software to now a market where both of those are extremely important, but the bullseye is on content. You have to have content. So when we set out to design the HTC Rezound, we really set out to design a product that could deliver your content in the most brilliant way possible. And so our motivation and the inspiration around the HTC Rezound is really about delivering the best in sight and sound. So, what about sight? What are we doing? Well, first, the HTC Rezound will sport HTC's first HD 720p display, which will allow people to enjoy the latest rendition of Three Musketeers. How many versions of that are they going to come out with anyway, right? on their phone, the highest resolution, or show off the pictures of their kids trick-or-treating earlier this week. So regardless, they'll have the best sight experience. So on that note, how is the camera? Well, the camera is an area that HTC feels very proud of, the experience we've created. See, it's no secret that just a few years ago, we heard from many of you in this room that our camera quality wasn't very good. HTC, yeah, you're delivering great technology, but you're a laggard in terms of camera. And so we didn't just hear you, we didn't just hear our customers, HTC users. We took action. We invested significantly in this area to make sure that we could go from being a laggard in camera technology to a leader in terms of smartphone imaging. And the HTC Rezound will surely deliver in those areas. We have, and some of those areas we've invested in, you'll see things like action burst, instant capture, panorama, the ability to add effects to your pictures, to your videos, All of these things to make sure that people can actually share the moment as it took place in real time. Another thing is, another problem that we've aimed to solve with the HTC Rezound is a situation that we all experience. You're out in the evening, you're at a bar, you're at a restaurant, you're at a club, you're at your kid's soccer game, which is going into the early evening, and something brilliant happens. And you pull your phone out to take a picture, and you don't have enough light. And so we set out to ensure that actually the HTC Rezound could not only be a worthy camera, but actually be the best camera that somebody could own. And so we've integrated a f2.2 lens that works very closely with our low light sensors to ensure that the maximum amount of light is going through that lens to deliver the best in picture quality. And that's an 8 megapixel camera. It also will allow you to record the video in 1080p. It's a very high quality camera. Another trend we see are people want to play. People want to have fun. They want to edit their pictures. They want to add effects to their pictures to show their friends that they're a better photographer than they really are. Right? You see it all the time. If you have a Facebook account or you follow people on Twitter, they're having fun, they're playing. And so we've integrated effects, and people cannot just add effects or edit videos afterwards, but we've allowed them to actually be able to add those effects, preview those effects. What is my image going to look like? What's the video I'm going to look like in these effects before they even shoot the still or video, which will allow HTC Rezound customers to make sure they're gaining the most social currency of all their friends in their social network. Another feature that's amazing is, slow motion. So this was a feature that was only really relegated to the highest of high-end video cameras not too long ago. And with the HTC Rezound, we're putting that feature in our customers' pockets. The ability to actually capture video and play it back in slow motion. Have my own ESPN moments with my son on the basketball court. So exciting stuff. So that's what we mean about delivering the best in sight. What about sound? So you've heard from Jimmy, you've heard from Peter about the partnership. Just to sum things up, real precisely, HTC believes that you should have the best audio experience in your mobile experience. That goes from whether you're listening to music, you're playing games, you're watching movies, or you're talking to mom across country. And when we think about music specifically, as I heard someone in this room say before, music, when it's played in high quality, is one of the only things that can, give you goosebumps, or for some of us, raise the hair on our back, really elicit emotion. And so that's what we want to deliver through the HTC Rezound. And the HTC Rezound will be our first showcase of this experience in the United States. So what are we doing on the Rezound specifically? Well, first, our engineers have worked very closely with Beats to make sure that we're integrating Beats audio and that the sound is tuned specifically to give the absolute best experience and deliver that music quality the way the artist intended it to be heard. That's first thing. The second thing I'm excited to announce is that we will be packaging in box a custom pair of Beats headphones that will allow people to experience that high quality, that music quality that'll give them chills immediately as they walk out of the store, out of the Verizon Wireless store. So that's about delivering the best in sound. So in summary, the HTC Rezound is really about delivering the best in sight and sound. It has a cutting-edge design. It features our first HD 720p display, has Beats audio integrated, and features the latest version of HTC Sense. And so now, as Peter mentioned, it's important to have great partners, and we're fortunate to have one in Verizon Wireless. And so I'd like to introduce Vice President of Marketing for Verizon Wireless, Mr. Jeff Dietl, to talk to you about more about our business.
Thanks, Jason. HTC and Verizon Wireless have been launching innovative Android devices over the last 2 years, from the millions of Droid Incredibles that we've sold to the first 4G LTE handset on Verizon Wireless's network earlier this year, the HTC Thunderbolt. There's no better network that the Sense 3.5 UI can run on from HTC than Verizon Wireless's 4G LTE network, which now covers nearly 2/3 of the US population, with us adding additional cities between now and the end of the year. The HTC Rezound is a product that we're very excited about for a number of reasons. There's things that you can only do with 4G LTE that you're not able to do with any other network out there, such as watching a live streaming NFL game on Sunday nights or Monday nights on the vivid 4.3-inch display of the HTC Rezound. And customers of the HTC Rezound will enjoy those games at no charge between now and the end of the 2011 season. Or users can choose to download an audio track in 4 seconds flat over the blazing fast 4G LTE network, and then listen to that audio track in the quality that the artist intended you to hear it by using the Beats Audio DSP and the Beats headphones. All of these exciting data features will be able to be used simultaneously while you're also on a voice call, since the device will be able to handle simultaneous voice and data. Rezound will be in Verizon Wireless stores, VerizonWireless.com, Best Buy, and other retailers beginning on November 14th for $299.99. With that being said, thanks for your time, and I'll turn it back to Jason.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for your partnership and for your team, and many of the guys, Saeed and JR and the team here, that really great partners in helping to bring this experience to market. So thank you. So next, as you know, speaking of the holidays, you know, it's important to have strong retail partners for the holidays. And we're fortunate we have one obvious one in Verizon Wireless that you just heard from. And we have another one that lives right at the intersection where we believe the HTC Rezound is, the intersection of consumer electronics and pop culture. We happen to be one of the best retailers out there. And so I'd like to introduce the head of merchandising for Best Buy Mobile, Scott Anderson.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Jason said, my name is Scott Anderson, and I'm proud to be here to represent Best Buy and Best Buy Mobile. A few reasons why I think Best Buy would be here today. First and foremost, it's because of the great relationship that Best Buy has with these three great companies and these three great brands. Verizon has been a key and strategic carrier partner for us for nearly 10 years now. They are proudly assorted and sold in all roughly 1,400 of our stores, including the one walking distance from here in Times Square that we were at earlier today. So when those of you who are wondering where you can go buy your HTC Rezound, might I suggest the Best Buy store in Times Square. Shameless plug. Also, our relationship with Beats. It was about 4 years ago that Best Buy met with Jimmy and Luke and Dre and others and strategized about how we were going to launch this new product line and this new brand, and we've just been excited to launch their products ever since. We've continued to innovate with them and in partnership with them, so that's been very exciting. We've been proud to be a part of that. And then, of course, HTC, who has seemingly done nothing in the last 3 or 4 years in the United States, but continuously launch really successful, really innovative, and really great selling, consumer-friendly products that our blue shirts are really excited to sell on a daily basis. And so I think that partnership that we've had, that three-way partnership that Best Buy has had with those three great brands, really lends itself to how successful this product could be at Best Buy. Also because, as Jason mentioned, our blue shirts, our employees and our customers expect us to be at the leading edge of technology. They expect us to be there when hot new products like this come to market. So we're very excited later this month to launch the Rezound in our stores. And lastly, it's because it's the holidays, and for those of us that work in retail, many of you do not, but the holidays has already started, and whether you're watching TV or looking at print ads or looking in your Sunday newspaper, I think you'll see that this weekend the holidays are just starting earlier and earlier and earlier. It seems that the next 8 or 9 weeks, Best Buy will do roughly a third of what they'll do the entire calendar year in just the next 8 or 9 weeks. So we're very excited about the holidays. We're excited about speaking to each and every one of our customers about the HTC Rezound. And we're just thankful to be a part of the strategic launching and partnerships of great companies like Verizon and Beats and HTC. So thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, and thank all of you. So a few things just to leave you with. First, HTC Rezound, best in sight and sound. It will be available November 14th for $299.99, and that will include a custom pair of Beats headphones for the HTC Rezound. And actually, I didn't mention, but we'll have a remote on them to where you will be able to skip tracks, pause music, etc., without pulling the phone from your pocket. And so, with that said, I'd like to invite you. I'd like to invite you to actually have the hands-on experience. So we're going to go ahead and open up the demo areas we have down here as well as upstairs. And so, thank you guys for your time and for being here with us. Thank you.